Hey everybody, my name is Raina Beugelink and I'm one of the registered dietitians at Revive Wellness. And we thought it would be fun since it is farmers market season to bring you a quick little guide here on what are some of the best things to look for at farmers markets and what you actually want to pick up when you're doing some browsing. So I hit up our local farmers market this weekend. This picture is some of the haul that I got um, when I did some shopping, and I'm glad I took pictures because all of this is pretty much gone. So there you have it. So farmers markets are an awesome way to buy fresh, to buy local, and to support like essentially our fellow community members in what they're doing to grow and produce our food and cool products. So this is going to be all about the food side of things. I know there's a ton of awesome handmade things to get. We're just focusing on the food side of it today. This was very important for me to know. Ensure that you check out any COVID-19 precautions that are happening with your local farmers market before you go. Check the website ahead of time. Some people are only taking cash. Some people are not at all taking cash. And some places still want you to bring your own recycled bags, and some people do not want you to bring in your own bags. So just kind of keep that in mind before you head out. Make sure you're parking up to date. Make sure nothing has been changed or moved. And if they're limiting capacity in any spots, that's obviously going to affect your experience. So as we're getting used to here, check into any updates and changes for your local farmers market. I love farmers market because I just love to browse. I just love to shop and to look and to see what people are doing. And you actually have a chance to interact with the people who are producing our food, which is the coolest thing. So if you're shopping for something and you're chatting with a vendor, be curious, ask them questions. Ask them about how they made or grew their food product. You can ask them how long it actually takes them to produce it. That should give you a really good appreciation of what the food actually is and how much time and energy and effort goes into it. And then maybe ask them some questions about why they wanted to produce it or what they use it for or how it has impacted their life. It really does enrich your experience when you actually get to connect with the people who are doing that. So that's really awesome in that sense. So be curious, chat with them, connect. That's what small community is all about. So number one food item to grab at your local farmers market. This one is pretty self-explanatory for dietitians to talk about. Man, the fresh fruit and vegetables. We're in Alberta. We don't have a great opportunity to grow a lot of fruit, especially this early in the season. We often don't do things like our berries, like Saskatoons and raspberries and strawberries, until a little bit later into July and August. But the BC fruit trucks are out. Hallelujah. So you can pick up your cherries, your pears, peaches and plums will be coming later. But that's what I love about farmers markets. The things that are in season are there, and that's what's awesome. As far as the vegetable goes, you can have a greenhouse essentially anywhere. So this bag of tomatoes I bought is literally 5 minutes from my house at this greenhouse. What is awesome is that when their vegetables are picked, they're picked at peak ripeness and taken exactly to the farmer's market that day or the next day or the next couple days. So you know you are getting fresh fruit. If it is somewhere really local, there's really minimal transportation, that carbon footprint. There's not a lot of that middleman factor that has to come in. That's what I love about that. This bag of tomatoes cost me $3. I still have some of these left. They're beautiful. They are beautiful, firm, flavorful tomatoes. And again, these were grown 5 minutes from my house. I cannot grow tomatoes like this, but I'm very happy to support a greenhouse who does that. This whole bag was $3 because she said some of them might be bruised. They're perfect. So just be adventurous, explore, pick out some really nice fresh stuff that you can consume within that next week. Fresh breads. Oh, the baking. Oh, the baking that is at farmers markets is awesome. You can find everything from this really nice sourdough bread that I got to this really lovely bay of like just traditional baked buns. I'm not really good with yeast. It's one of my life goals to improve. But man, I'm very happy to support somebody who's killing it in the yeast department. This is where you'll probably be able to find some really cool things for specific dietary restrictions, including gluten-free breads, different sourdoughs, just different ingredients coming into it. So if you have a dietary restriction, if you have an actual celiac disease diagnosis, this is where you do want to be really careful and really mindful. Ask really smart questions. So making sure your vendor knows the proper precautions to take if they are advertising that something is gluten-free. People are becoming really well educated. They're becoming really smart. And so this isn't as big of a problem before as it ever used to be. But this is another one that I would pick up at the farmer's market. I would pick up your bread products because they're phenomenal. Number 3, spices and seasonings. Man, the concoctions that people are coming up with are awesome. So this little one that I got is essentially just a vegetable seasoning, and I did it the other day on my roasted potatoes. And it's essentially, as you can see on that food label there, it might be a little bit small, but it's essentially just ground up dried vegetables. So there's no salt added to it. I can add my own salt to flavor it as I want to. It's completely gluten-free because it's just vegetables. And so it's a really unique way to probably use up some of the vegetable produce that isn't able to be sold or isn't able to be consumed to actually turn it into something shelf stable like this, a vegetable seasoning. So check out the spices, check out the seasonings. This is a great way if you have a sodium restriction, if you're gluten-free, and if you just want a unique way to flavor your food, these are awesome. Rubs, marinades, all that sort of stuff you'll be able to find. Number 4 of my top things to get at farmers markets, honey. We are so good at producing honey. You will probably find it at every farmer's market, from jars to tubs to straws, and the flavors you can get. This jar of honey, this is one I actually do have still. This is a little jar of cinnamon flavored honey. I chose the spicy version because I love cinnamon, and this is so amazing in tea. One thing you want to be really, really careful about is that most local honeys are not going to be pasteurized. So if that's something important to you, um, make sure that that's something that you're asking about, check into their processes. Again, for little kids under the age of 1, we don't actually want to give them unpasteurized honey. So awesome, awesome, awesome products. This honey was technically from last year's batch because the fields aren't quite blooming enough to produce honey this year. If you want fresh honey, go at the end of the summer into early fall and they'll have their new batches of honey out. Again, awesome stuff. Jams, jellies, and sauces. Oh, the preserving that people do is phenomenal. Again, this is a little jar of relish that I got. It was actually called zucchini relish, and it was produced by one of the colonies out west of Edmonton. The ingredients are always so simple. In your jams and your jellies and your sauces and relishes, you're not going to find a lot of preservatives and things that keep them super shelf stable for a long time. Again, ask questions about these, and it's a really awesome way just to support and flavor your food wonderfully. Lastly, um, feel free to try something new. There's a ton of unique things. People are always making unique treats. They're always making unique um, desserts, and so this is a great place to maybe try cinnamon bun or bring home a homemade pie if you're looking for a treat or something like that. This is a really great way to do it because you know it's going to be a high quality one. Be brave. Try something you've never tried before. This is one I brought home, and it's actually a little pita pocket stuffed with buckwheat. So I gave it a try. $2. What's there to lose? It was pretty good. I'm glad I didn't get the whole pie. I'll say that much. But totally something great, totally something unique, supporting somebody who's being creative and wanting to do something new. That is it. That's my top ones. Look for your fresh fruit and veg. Look for your breads. Look for your sauces. Look for your seasonings. And look to try something unique. This was my face of start the car moment when I realized I was making off with a huge bag of tomatoes for $3. Awesome. There's also some other things that could be an extra surprise. One man who had a vendor made these beautiful little toy cars, and he ended up giving one to my son, and it totally made his day because he was strapped in my backpack, and I didn't release him to run around the farmer's market. So could be something really, really cool and exciting that happens. And just being in community with people is really good too. There's over 2 dozen farmers markets that you could hit up in the Edmonton area. There are not even enough weekends in summer to hit all these in. So there's so much that you could go do, so much that you can support, so much that you can go and check out. So do it. Our community benefits. Your body and your nutrition can totally benefit, and there's so much good stuff to be had there. Go explore and support local and just check it out. It's a great way to go and explore potentially some communities or areas of the city that you've never been to before. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you found it helpful. I hope there's some tips you're able to pull from that. Again, if you have any questions, that's what we're here for. We love working with you guys. We love bringing in some cool information like this. And feel free to get in contact with us if there's anything that we can do to help. Have a great weekend, you guys. Go check out some farmers markets this weekend.